Hi everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Susan Tipchak here, also known as Stampin' Sue Creates. I wanted to share with you another fun video, so thanks so much for stopping by. If you're brand new to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that red subscribe button wherever that may be. And right next to that, there is a bell. If you tap on that bell, you can click on receive notifications when I upload new videos. Now, subscribing is absolutely free. And that helps me by keeping me motivated by you commenting, thumbs up, and sharing my videos. Keeps me motivated to keep coming back with more videos. So, I do a lot of different things on my channel, so if you're brand new here, be sure to check out my playlist and see all the fun things I do. Right now, it seems like everyone is asking for more videos on machine embroidery. So this is Brother Bob. He is an Essence VE 2300 a Novus machine, and new to my line of embroidery machines. As I upgrade, I trade in and I, move up. So this is the newest one. And I wanted to share with you this really fun, I hope you could see that. I know it seems a little dark because this is so bright that it kind of really washes out the video. So I'm trying to do it during the day, so I have a lot of natural light coming in. But this is, and my elves are all downstairs, this is a little quarantine bag. See, it has a little window in it. So, your elf, when it comes from the North Pole, they have to quarantine for 14 days upon arrival from the North Pole. So this is a cute little bag that you can put your little elf inside. Little quarantine bag. Now this one is done in a 5x7 hoop. I know a lot of you may not have a larger size hoop, so this one will be perfect for you, whether you have the PE 770. I have an older machine I bought secondhand that is a workhorse. PE 800 and up. They're all 5x7 machines. Now, of course, that's the Brother line because that's what I'm comfortable with. So I have the 5x7 hoop on here, and I just put on some tearaway stabilizer. This project is going to be floated in the hoop, and what that means is you hoop your stabilizer, and then you bring in your felt or fabric or whatever you're using, and all you do is you just float it in the machine. As easy as that. So I will be moving you so that you get a better view, and I'm doing my best so that you can see. Now this 5x7 one, it just opens from the bottom, and you just tuck your elf in there. You really got to squish him in there, him or her in there, and it just kind of stands up with your elf in it. Now if you have the 6x10 inch hoop size, you can make a larger bag, and the bottom you put a cam snap on it, so it's a little bit longer, and you can snap your elf in there. I'm going to try making one of those, but I wanted to share with you the 5x7 hoop because I know a lot of you may only have 5x7, or that's the extent of the size. So let's get started. I made a couple of these last night. They work up pretty quick, but if you follow me, you'll know that I chit-chat throughout my video because I want to show you from start to finish. Now this design I purchased from Etsy. I will put down in the subscription box the name of the shop, and I'm going to send him or her a message to let them know that I'm doing the video. Hopefully it's okay. I mean, I'm not giving away any trade secrets. I'm just stitching out one of their designs. So this is not a design that I make. I am not a digitizer, which is the people that make these designs. I don't do that. I purchased them, or a lot of them you can get for free, but I've been looking for this forever, and I'm so thrilled I found it. So we have our stabilizer. We're going to be working, you saw the green felt fabric. I'm using a coordinating green embroidery thread in my machine. Oh, you can't see that, can you? There we go. Green embroidery thread. And let me situate you, because the first thing you're going to do, and if you look over on the screen, it'll take you step by step. So this takes exactly 18 minutes to stitch out 7 different changes in color. Now the color is a suggestion. You can use any color you want, but if you wanted to go with the exact color that they were using, which I believe they did white felt, so I haven't done a white felt one yet. So the felt was purchased on Amazon. I purchase a lot of my supplies on Amazon these days. With the whole COVID thing, it's just easier for me. I'm not a big shopper. I don't really like to go out shopping, so that helps me. Okay, so let's put our foot down and let's get this party started. So first thing it's going to do is it's going to stitch out the whole area where your bag is going to go. Now the great thing about these single needle machines is that it will let you know if it won't fit in the hoop size. So not like the big commercial machines, which would just go ahead and stitch right over your hoop. This will tell you if you need a larger hoop size. So I hope this is working for you. I hope y'all can see this. So you're going to need felt with this. Of course, you're going to need an embroidery machine. You're going to need thread. And you're going to need some clear vinyl. So here's the vinyl. I know it's clear. You can't see. So many may wonder, well, where do I get the vinyl? Again, I purchased from, you guessed it, Amazon. But if you have maybe in your arsenal of products in your home, a shower curtain, hey, cut that baby up and use that, right? Okay, so first stitch was the outline. So you're going to see this is the whole quarantine bag. So what they want you to do is they want you to take your vinyl, and I kind of cut it to size, a little bit larger. I'm going to trim that out, and I'm going to show you a little tip. Something that I did. The first one was very difficult, but second one I'm like, hey, that worked. I can do that. So I'm going to place my vinyl on there. I'm going to put the foot down, and this is going to stitch your vinyl. Now, if you feel more comfortable taping your vinyl down, you can. For me, I found that it stayed there. You know, you may want to be a little more worthy of that and use some tape to put that down, or, you know, washi tape you can use painter's tape, you know, whatever works for you. Okay, so it's going to stitch around twice. Alright, so the next thing, this is the tip that I have to share with you. Now what the next thing is, you would go ahead and put your felt down. Okay, you'd put your felt down and then it would stitch around. But what I found was, I'm going to take this out of the hoop, was first I'm going to trim around the excess here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around to the back, and I'm going to carefully cut out the stabilizer from the center. Now they don't recommend you doing that. I'm going to be off camera here a little bit while I do that. No sense in sending you back and forth and making you all dizzy, right? So let me just trim my vinyl. And you do want to be careful. Leave yourself a little bit excess. I will show you after I do it. So I hope you're all enjoying your day. Today is craft day for me. It is November 14th, 2020. And my thought this morning was get my laundry done, change my bedding, wash my bed stuff, make my bed, and craft. So that's a pretty good Saturday for me. One thing I like is when the cooler weather comes, there's no yard work to do. So no yard work means more craft time for me. All right. Now you don't have to be too precise. I'll bring it back and show you. I don't even know if you can see, but I just left a little bit. So now what I want to do is I'm going to turn it over, and very carefully with a sharp pair of scissors. Now, these little snips came with my machine, so that's what I'm going to use. You can also use like a little embroidery type scissor, but I like these. They have a nice point on them, and hey, they came with the machine, so they were FREE, which if it's free, it's for me. So what I'm going to do, I'll bring you back to show you. I'm just going to very carefully from the back side, and I found this was easier than having to do it after the whole thing was done. I'm being careful here. Sometimes I can't do two things at one time. Anybody else like that? I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm making a big X. I'll bring it back and show. Because otherwise I'd have to move the camera and, well, That may make you dizzy. Okay, so I took the sharp scissors and I made a big X. Okay, so this is going to help me. And I'm going to trim all of this out, so then I'm going to have my little window. All right, I'll be right back. Let me trim this. So, it's a beautiful day here in northeastern Pennsylvania. I hope it's nice wherever it is you are and whenever it is you're watching this. But, again, I have been looking and hoping someone would design this idea. I found a shop that was selling them, but maybe she wasn't the original designer, so she wasn't selling the actual design. So, I was like, yeah, I might be able to figure out how to do it just with some boxes, but I just didn't want. I'm trying to get one little piece here. There we go. Okay, so there it is from the back, the little peekaboo window, right? Here's the front. Okay, so I trimmed that all out. I didn't find it made any of a difference doing that now. Let me put that back in my hoop. Oh, first thing, you know what? Let me get my felt. Now the felt does seem to have two different sides. So, you know, I kind of am going to just do that. Now you can go ahead. You know what I may do? I may trim this. All right, let me just trim this, because then what's left down here on the bottom, I have a little scrap bin, and I put all my scraps in there, because sometimes you're making a design. You're doing maybe some applique or something. And of course, there's a cat here. I do have a cat. And, okay, I'm going to put that in there. So that fits perfectly. There we go. And you may need just a little piece of that. Okay, so what it's going to do, we're going to put the foot down. And this is going to stitch and put our felt down. Now you want to leave a little border going around, because when the whole thing is done, you're actually going to cut it out. You guys see that good? Well, I think it's much better doing videos during the day. I did one yesterday or the night before, and whoa, the light from the machine was so bright that it kind of was a little bit of a washout, so I think the daylight is much better. Okay. Alright. So the next step is going to be the words at the top that say quarantine bag. So, I don't know. Oh, this is going to do a double stitch along the bottom, so that when you cut it out, the bottom is open. Okay, so but that makes a little sense to you. Let me just clean up my little pieces that I cut. Okay. Oh no, now it's going to stitch around the window. Okay, my apologies. It's going to stitch around the window. So I'm going to use the same thread. And it's going to secure that down. So then when the whole thing is done, probably before you put your bag together, you're going to want to cut out that felt piece where it's stitching around right now. And then you'll have your window underneath. So you can do that later. That's easy to do. Then next, after this, it's going to start your stitching. So the first stitch is going to be 3 minutes. The longest stitch is going to be the one down at the bottom with all the words. So there we go. Alright, let me trim this out. And like I always tell you in all the videos, I'm not an expert. I'm pretty much self-taught. And I've learned from, excuse my reach here, I've learned from watching other YouTubers. A lot of helpful people out there. So if you're brand new to machine embroidery and you have your machine and it's sitting in the box, I'm going to tell you, open the box. First step, watch some videos. All right, let's put the foot down, and it's going to do the quarantine bag text. And I think for the bottom, I'm going to stick with the white thread. And I do want to try making one with the, I want to make one with the white felt. So there's the font. Bring you a little closer. I always like watching it stitch out. So let's do some chit chat. We got some time. So how is everyone doing? Is there anything that you guys would like to see me do? Like I said, I'm learning as I go. And yeah, I have a lot of different projects, a lot of different fun things. I like doing mug rugs. I like doing little quilt squares. I'm still working on getting them together. But that comes in with sewing. So last night, I was so tired. I was just going to go to bed, you know, but I came upstairs and I remembered that I had gotten some fabric. Like, who doesn't have a lot of fabric, right? If you guys are into sewing, you know we all have fabric. And I happened to step here in my craft room and I'm like, oh, I think I'm just going to like do a little sewing. Well, you know what happens. 1:30 in the morning, I was still sewing. So I'm back into making masks again. I believe I've done a video on mask making, but I have done masks here in the embroidery hoop, and I've also just done, you know, plain sewn masks. I have an upcoming craft show the weekend of Thanksgiving, so I don't know, I made about 40 or so masks. Woke up this morning, did all the work I had to do, came back in and finished up the masks, and I think I'm good now for masks for a while for the craft show. So there, it just did quarantine. The font is so nice on this. Definitely, the designer did a great job with making this design. It's super easy, and a lot of times, I want to say a lot of times, I'm going to put some hand cream on my hand. I'm just so dry from all these alcohol-based hand sanitizers. So a lot of the designers, when you purchase a design, they have a file that will show you color selections. And this designer was so fabulous in that they had a step-by-step photo tutorial to show you how to make this. Because at first I thought, oh, I can make it. And then I thought, I couldn't figure out how it all went together. So I just downloaded the tutorial onto my iPad. Excuse me a minute. Aurora! My dog. She always gets into trouble when I'm busy. What are you doing? Okay. So there we did yeah, I keep on saying quarantine because I'm looking at that one. Quarantine bag. And we're going to snip off the red thread. Are you getting into trouble? Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. And going to go ahead. I'm going to bring the white thread in. So again, I apologize for my reach, but no other way to do it, right? So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Okay. So, yep, I did masks. And, okay, now we're going to do the words. Now, this is going to be 11 minutes to stitch. So we can continue our discussion. If you don't like the chit-chat, no problem. Just go ahead and fast forward. You know, that's why it's there. Some of you have been writing that you would love the chit-chat. So, thanks. So I started going through all the stuff. You know, if any of you do craft shows, you can relate to this story. So you're making things and making things and making things. And you don't really realize when you put it all together how much you have. Like, really? I filled my whole dining room table with things for the craft show. So some of the things I've been making don't take a whole lot of room, but I've made multiples, like the ball koozies or cozies, however you want to call them. And those can stack one on another. And a lot of things I put in baskets. I just went through stuff, you know. I did another video, let me grab it, and I shared this project with you. It's just a little door hanger. So if you missed out on this, come and stitch along with me. I made those. I made a couple of them. Now, the other thing is these types of things, you know, I mean, it's 18 minutes. So I have in my craft room, maybe someday I'll do a little tour. I mean, it's just an extra bedroom, and it's a teeny tiny bedroom. And of course, I do other crafts too. So I have 2 desks, one next to another. They're made by Origami, and I actually bought them on HSN. I bought one, and I loved it so much. It also, I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to be staying in the house that I'm living in. So I thought if I ever needed a table, it folds up. The top comes off, the bottom legs fold up. So I bought one, loved it so much, and when I noticed that I need another one for sewing and one for paper crafting, they had it on, I don't know, a year later or so, and I bought a second one. So I have them right next to each other. So when my machine is doing the stitching, you know, I mean, when I'm here doing it alone, I might as well utilize that time and, you know, multitask. So the desk next to me is normally being occupied by my paper crafting while this is running. So I think, you know, that works for me. So this is, like I said, a very small little room. I'm probably crammed with half the stuff in here that I haven't used. But you know, I mean, you guys know, I've been spilling into the other bedroom, which is another small bedroom. I have the large bedroom, and the other 2 are just, you know, kind of, the one is for my grandboys when they come to stay here with Grandma. You know, they both have a bed. One has a little toddler bed, although he's getting big, so he's soon going to need a twin bed. And the other one, he has a twin bed, so they fit in there, and I have a dresser in there, and my crafts are spilling into that room. So I think it's going to be time for some clean out. And I just want to say, if I do ever move from this house, it's going to have to be a sad day. Sad day. Because I'm not going to be able to take all of this with me. Now, I've had to do the move twice before in my life. When I was married, I moved out into an apartment. And, you know, when you're going from having a full basement craft area where you conduct classes and you literally could have lived in the basement because it had a bathroom, a kitchen. I mean, it had everything. And it had plenty of space for me to do my classes there with the paper crafting. When you move from that to a 2-bedroom apartment, well, there was a lot of tears shed because I loved having the whole basement, well, almost the whole basement, for my crafting and laying it all out and being able to be organized, you know. Then you go into a 2-bedroom apartment because my daughter came with me. Well, you had to downsize. And then after 2 years there, I decided I wanted to buy a house. So I bought a house, and I want to say after a couple years ago when my daughter moved out, I was like, yay, I have a room to craft in. So I was kind of using my bedroom, but I didn't nearly have as much stuff. So here's my thought on that. My thought is, if you have a small space, you don't tend to get into a whole lot unless you're very well organized to you know, find places to put things with shelving or maybe closet space or, you know, something like that. But when, you know, you end up having the whole house to yourself and you do crafts, well, and if you're into sewing, the fabric just takes over, you know. And then the embroidery came along, and then the embroidery took over. So now I'm kind of juggling between the sewing, embroidering, and the Stampin' Up! Paper crafts, because I love them all. So, you know, I thought, okay, 3 of them, I'm okay. Three different crafts that I like. I mean, there's a couple other things I like to do, but I'm like, nope, don't even go there. So anyhow, I think we're almost about half done here. So this is fun. I just enjoy this machine embroidery. This is my third machine, and I've only been doing this like less than 2 years. So I want to say now that, you know, my kids are grown and out on their own. My mom had been sick with cancer, so a lot of my extra time, and I work full-time, a lot of my extra time was devoted to taking her to appointments and helping her out. And when she passed away, it'll be 2 years in January, I found I had a lot of extra time that I needed to fill. And I don't know if you're like me, but after working all day, yeah, you know, at my age, I come home, I'm tired. But all day long, I'd be thinking, oh, what can I make when I go home? What can I craft? What can I, you know, and sometimes there's days where I don't even step into the craft room. There could be like a week at a time. But then, you know, this is my therapy. This is my therapy. And if you have good credit, you can buy a machine like this on credit and sell your items that you make to help pay off your machine quicker, which is what I did when I had the Enovis, oh gosh, I almost forgot, was it a 1600, 1200? It's almost like in the past, and it's like, what, been a month? So, yeah. I just love this so much, I just can't even tell you, but I love, it's like quick satisfaction. I mean, I don't like to be working on projects for years and years and years, which sometimes some projects are so involved that it takes you a long time. But these quick little projects just give you almost instant gratification. So it says elves must quarantine, yeah, there I go again, quarantine for 14 days upon. Oh, we have 2 more lines. So what else can I talk about? I don't know. This craft room gets messy. Those of you that sew, do you find that your area of sewing gets like really messy between threads all over and pieces of fabric and snips of this and snips of that? Yeah. So I think when I'm done, I'm going to definitely have to bring up the sweeper and do some sweeping in here. But I hope you're enjoying these. Please let me know down below in the comments if you enjoy watching my videos, or if you like the chit chat, or maybe you just fast forward through it. Which, hey, I can't blame you. Sometimes you just want to see how you make the project, right? And I hope I helped you with that. So, let's get a little sip of coffee. I think my coffee is now iced coffee. Make up a couple of these bags, and I already posted online to some of my Facebook groups I belong to. I've already had people reach out. Are you selling them? Well, kind of, but one thing I don't like to do is mass produce tons, because then it's kind of like a job, you know, and I like to do it for fun. So yeah, I'll make whatever I make. And if a couple people, you know, request that, you know, they want to buy them, sure, you know. But this way here, those of you that don't embroider and maybe would look at this and say, oh, well, you know, how could she charge that much? Well, now you see what all's involved. Not only the materials, the machine itself. I mean, this is not a cheap machine. The time that's involved and the meticulous work that's involved. And not to mention, you know, I'm using my electricity. I have to tell you that when the whole COVID hit, my job, my hours were cut. And so I was only working part-time or less than part-time some weeks. And of course, you know, I had my my second machine. So between sewing masks, which when somebody found out that I sewed masks, well, that I sewed, it started with one person asking to, I must have made easy 800 masks. Easy. And I'm still making them. So between the sewing machine on one table going and the embroidery machine on the other table going, when I got my electric bill, I was like, whoo. Yeah. And I thought, oh boy. Because I guess you never really ask, like, how much electricity does it take? But I guess if you're sewing all day long, you have 2 machines going, you got the iPad going, you got lights on, you know, that whole thing. I mean, it adds up. And I'm very thrifty with my utilities here. One of the main reasons why I stay in the house that I'm at is because it's probably cheaper for me to live here than pay rent. But it's just the maintenance and the grass cutting and snow shoveling. Because I'm in Pennsylvania, so yeah, we get snow, scraping ice, doing all that. Okay, we're on our final North Pole. So I hope you're not getting sick of me with my chit-chat. You'd be thinking, how much can that woman talk? Well, you know, I'm either going to talk to myself or I'm going to talk to you guys. So, yeah, why not? But, anyhow, I had hurt my back on, well, I didn't realize it till Friday. So Thursday, went in to get water out of the water cooler and, you know, it was dry. The well was dry. So I'm like, all right, I probably shouldn't replace it, but I'm gonna. Well, when I woke up in the middle of the night Friday, I had such back pain. All right, we're almost on our last word. I had such back pain, I can't even tell you. So I went to work yesterday, and I was like, oh, that's why I said I came home from work yesterday. I ordered pizza, and they delivered it, and I just sat in my chair, and when I was in the one position without moving, I was fine. And then I went to move, I'm like, oh. So it has eased up quite a bit today, but it's still there. So I know now, don't be so stubborn and ask for help. If the water cooler jug needs to be removed, have one of the younger girls do it. Okay, so we're down on North Pole. So that wasn't so bad, was it? Okay, here we go. I'm going to go back to the green thread. Oh, that stitch is just perfect. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's snip this and pull the thread out. Okay, so let me thread this. And again, pardon my reach. Then we're going to take it off the hoop. Well, I'm going to take it off the hoop. And I'm going to show you. Okay, let's take it off the hoop. Let's take a look. I don't want to knock you guys. All right, so here's what we have so far. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to cut this little window out. I could wait, but I think I'm going to do it now. Let's take a look at the back. Here's the back. Okay, so I'm going to bring it over to the table here, and I'm pretty much going to cut the felt the same way I cut the back, but you want to be careful. You don't want to cut your vinyl. Now I want to be a little more careful with cutting this because this you're going to see. All right. So just talk amongst yourselves and I'll show you when I'm done. I'm going to use these duckbill scissors. Well, no, maybe I'm not going to because I can't get good leverage with them. I'm going to go back to the ones that came with the machine. And I'm going to bring the hoop up to my face. So I can see. I suppose you can make this like a little door and like a peekaboo if you only cut out the 3 sides. You could, and then maybe put a little grommet or something on there, or a little brad to make it like a little knob. Then you can peek in your elf. Make sure that they're okay. And I do like that this opens from the bottom because, you know, your elf has to breathe, you know? You can't put an elf in a contained room with no air. That wouldn't be very nice. So, let's hope when Jingle Bell comes with my elf, that from Santa's workshop, that we don't have no problems with her with COVID. All right, let me see. So do you all have elves? Or do you know of someone with an elf? Let me know. What are their names? Mine is Jingle Bell, and she, of course, is a girl. But she gets into all sorts of trouble. Okay, that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Peekaboo, right? All right, so here's what we're going to do next. We're going to bring in our other piece of felt, and we want to cover the back. So now again, you can place this on here, and you can go ahead and you hold it down with some tape if you like to. Let me see if I have any tape nearby. Oh, I did. Oh, yes, I do. I have some. I think this is from Dollar Tree. I'm going to tape it down because I want to make sure I have enough room all around it. And I'm just going to tape it down just a tad. I'll show you here in a second. Okay, so I just put a little piece up here and just a little piece down there just to hold it in place. All right, let me flip it over. Put it back in my machine. Okay, and now we're going to do the final stitch. And we are almost done. I'll clean up my table a little bit because I want to bring you all over. Show you how it turned out. Scrap pile. I don't want you to think that I'm a total mess here. You guys keep an eye on that while I look for my trimming scissors. You know what else would work well? Would probably be a rotary cutter. That would work really great. Let's see my scissors somewhere. I'll have to use the pink handle ones. You know, like when you're like, oh, I'm going to put them here so that I know where they're at. Yeah. It doesn't always work that way, right? All right, I can use the pink handle ones because they're for fabric. There we go. Who's excited? Listen. Ready? Oh, thank you, Bob. Finished. Okay, let me take it out. There we go. Let's check the back. Looking good. All right. Let me move this stuff onto my desk, and then close your eyes because I'm going to bring you over to the desk area. Ooh, almost ran over my dog with my chair. Sorry, Aurora. You hear her moaning? Don't look at the messy area. Okay, there we are. Hello. Okay, let me bring you in. Okay, so let's take this out of the hoop. So again, this is the 5x7 size. Put my hoop over here because I think I'll make a couple more of them. All right, so what you want to do is I'm just going to do a little trim for now to get rid of some of the excess. So you may be saying, well, that's a lot of wasted stabilizer. Yeah, well, buy it through Amazon. It's pretty reasonable. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to cut all the way around. So easy cut out. Now if you have pinking shears, is that what they call them? Pinking shears? You could cut it out with that. You can make a nice decorative edge on it. I do have them. They were in with my mom's stuff when I cleaned out her apartment. But they're downstairs and I don't know how good they are. I don't really know what she used them for because they were in her box with all her utility stuff. So there. Now what you want to do, there's a couple little areas in through here with little jump stitches. So I just have a little seam ripper. And all I do is I just kind of go in carefully and kind of pick at those. And then just go in with those little teeny tiny scissors. Whoops. and go ahead and just snip the little pieces. But so I would definitely use these little buggers here and just snip that. I like to, sorry, blow it away because it's felt, so everything like sticks to it. There we go. So I found it was easier to cut out that backing, because what they tell you to do is now you would go and turn your thing inside out, and then that kind of zhushes up your little window here. What's that on there? A little piece of something. So I found that cutting it out first takes away the pain, and it doesn't affect it at all. So then you would take your little elf. Well, I don't think this little guy is going to fit in here, but you would just, no, he won't fit in there. But you would just take your elf. I don't really have anything. So here's the Jergens hand lotion. If this was your elf, you'd go ahead and put your elf in there, and then his little face, his or her little face would be sticking out. And then it would just stand up, you know, like that. And like I said, it's a tight squeeze. Him or her is kind of sticking out a little bit, but just shove them up in there. They don't mind. They don't mind being in tight places. We know these elves. So there you go. So here's one I did in red and one in green. And I love them. I think they're super cute. So I will leave a name down below once I look it up as to the Etsy shop that I purchased the design from. And if you go and purchase it, tell them that Stampin' Sue Creates sent you over here. And I hope you make them. They're a lot of fun. And I think they're going to be a hit this Christmas, because all those parents, well, you know, the elves have to move every night. So, yeah. If they're in these bags, I mean, you can't touch them for 14 days, right? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, taking time out of your busy day to spend a little bit of it with me. So I hope you're inspired to go, and if you have not yet opened that box with your embroidery machine, go open it up. Give it a shot. Watch some videos. Watch my videos. Heck, why not, right? And be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, like, thumbs up, and share. And I'll see you back here again real soon. Bye for now.